It's 3 a.m. Production is down, users are logged out, and your phone is blowing up. You frantically open your observability dashboards and desperately search for the root cause. And this is what you find. Error, something went wrong. Not exactly helpful, right? What request failed? Which user was affected? Which service generated the error? Was it a database, an external API, or a deployment issue? Without context, you are left jumping between dashboards, Kubernetes pods, and log files trying to piece together the story. The reality is that most teams don't suffer from lack of logs, they suffer from bad logs. But it doesn't have to be this way. Hi, I am Simran, Devril here at OpenTelemetry, and in this video we are going to cover battle-tested logging best practices that will transform your chaotic logs into high-speed debugging machine. So let's dive in. One of the biggest mistakes developers make is treating logging as an afterthought. Something fails, so they add another log statement. Later, they add another one. Over time, the application starts producing thousands of log lines, but very few of them actually answers the questions developer asked during an incident. So instead of asking where should I add a log, start by asking what problem should this log help me solve. For example, in an e-commerce application, you probably care about user logins, payment failures, order creation, and inventory updates. Those are some meaningful business events. Logging every successful cache lookup or every internal function call usually creates a lot of noise without providing much value. A good logging strategy focuses on capturing information that helps explain what happened, why it happened, and how to fix it. Not every log deserves the same level of importance, which is why log levels exist. Info is for normal business events such as user logging in or order being placed. Warn is for situations that aren't failures yet, like a slow database query or a retry that eventually succeeds. And next we have error, which indicates something has failed and requires attention. For example, a failed payment or an exception. Finally, we have fatal, which means the application cannot continue, such as running out of memory or failing to start. Using these levels consistently makes it much easier to filter logs during an incident. If everything is logged as an error, nothing stands out where a real issue occurs. Let's take a look at two different log entries. The first is a plain text that user John placed order, say 4821. Now humans can read it, but machines struggle to extract useful information out of it. Now look at the same statement or look at the same event as structured JSON. We have user ID specified, order ID specified, service, status, region, etc. specified. In this case, every field becomes searchable. Instead of searching text, you can filter by user ID, you can filter by service, you can filter by region, order status, etc. So structured logs makes dashboards, alerts, or analytics much more powerful. A log without context is almost useless. Now we have this two message. Let's take a look. First is authentication failed. And we have another one where we have the request ID, the trace ID, the user ID, service, and other details, and the reason as well. The second log tells you who was affected, what happened, and gives you enough information to correlate that particular event with traces or metrics. So if you're using OpenTelemetry, including the trace ID lets you move directly from a log entry to the distributed trace for that particular request. Another common mistake is logging secrets. Passwords, API keys, access tokens, credit card numbers, all of this should never appear in logs. Instead, mask or remove the sensitive values before they are written. Remember that logs often live much longer than your application and may be accessible to many people across your organization. So security comes first. As application grows, so do logging costs. So instead of storing every successful request, consider sampling repetitive events while always keeping the errors. For example, you might retain only 10% of the successful login events, but you keep 100% of the failed login attempts. So this approach significantly reduces the storage cost while preserving the information you actually need for debugging. So let's quickly recap. Start with a logging strategy instead of logging everything. Use log levels consistently, structure your logs, include enough context, and avoid logging sensitive information. And use sampling to control the cost. Let me tell you, good logging isn't about producing more data, it's about producing useful data. That's it for the video. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button. See you in the next one.